That smells chocolatey. I haven't been wowed, what they have nailed. Hello and welcome back to the Crummy Beard and another episode of A Brew and a Bite. This is the second episode featuring Tony's Chocolonely, this time the milk chocolate caramel sea salt. But basically it's a salted caramel chocolate, and to have along with that we have this from Beermats Brewing Co, a salted caramel stout. I am eager for this one. As always, just before we break into them, a quick bit about each company. As this is the second episode featuring Tony's Chocolonely, link to the first one up there. I won't give the full spiel on the company, but basically they are a chocolate company targeting big chocolate. I'm sure you can imagine who they're referring to, and trying to convince them to eradicate all forms of modern slavery and injustice in the chocolate industry. And I'll give you some of the spiel off the back of the wrapper in a second. Beermats Brewing Co, this is their first time on the channel, and it's my first time trying them as well. Beermats Brewing Co are from in and around the Newark area of Nottinghamshire, as best I can tell. There's not a huge amount of information about them out there, as they're a very new company, started in just 2017, so just 4 years ago. They say that their company was born out of 3 friends hanging in the pub, flipping beer mats, hence the name, and coming up with an idea, and their key ethos is to make beer that is accessible to everyone, no acquired taste, nothing too fancy, just a good solid brew. So I actually really buy into that. As much as I like some fancier things, I always feel people get a little bit carried away with going a bit over nuanced, if you like, trying to make craft beer a bit unaccessible. This is kind of the antidote to that, so we shall see how they get on. Just before we break this beer open, let's have a read of the bottle. It says smooth stout with chocolate notes finished with salted caramel sweetness. Some spiel about beer mats. They are from Winkburn in Newark. Salted caramel stout, 4.7%. Good value, not crazy strong, but decent. That's pretty much all it says. It doesn't say it's bottle conditioned. Best served between 8 and 12C. Well, this has been in this room all day, which has probably been about 12C most of the day, so this should be a pretty good pour. Not one to be refrigerated. Bit of smoke off the bottle, but not too much. That smells chocolatey. Before I pour this out, give you a quick look at the bottle itself. Okay. Today we're using a stylised pint glass from the Witchwood Brewery. Perfect looking pint that has produced. I'm very impressed with that. So often bottled beers just fall a bit short in the presentation department once they've been poured out, but this one is not the case. I should probably point out that it's called Matte Black Stout, but is a salted caramel stout. Slightly bubbly head, so this is probably going to thin quite a bit in the next minute or so. And if you're wondering why I have such a fantastically red complexion today, it's because before shooting this video I had a homemade curry which was just a little on the spicy side. Nothing crazy, just enough to give you that real baboon's backside red ear kind of glow. I might sniff beer, put your nose in it. All I'm getting off the aroma is a mild chocolate. Bit sweet, bit milky. I'm excited to try that. We'll let that settle just for a moment. Well, we break into the Tony's Chocolonely Caramel Sea Salt Edition. As before, it says on the back of the packet, hello there, I'm Tony's Chocolonely. I exist to end slavery in the chocolate industry. My mission is to make 100% slave-free the norm in chocolate. Together we'll make all the chocolate 100% slave-free. Are you in? Read the inside of this wrapper. And if you saw the last video, I'm fairly confident on what is going to be on the inside of this wrapper. Oh, no, it's different. On this wrapper, it says, share our chocolate, share our story. Right now there is slavery in cocoa farms in West Africa. This is a result of the unequally divided cocoa chain. Tony's Chocolonely exists to change that. Not just our chocolate, but all chocolate worldwide. With incredibly tasty chocolate, we lead by example and show the world that chocolate can be made differently in taste, packaging, and the way we do business with cocoa farmers. There's quite a lot of spiel on there, but you get broadly the idea. Okay. As with the previous bar of Tony's Chocolonely, it's an unevenly divided bar, as you can see from there. They do that to highlight the inequality in the cocoa industry, and as a result, the inequality in your very own bar of chocolate. Get this open, give it a sniff. It smells very similar to the milk chocolate. I'm not getting any of the salted caramel through on the nose, although you can see a bit on the side of the bar there sticking out. That smells really good. Right. Before we try that, I think it would only be fair to try the beer without the corruption of the sweet chocolate. Okay. The aroma's got a little stronger now it's been sat out. The chocolate's still there, some of the caramel's starting to come through. Okay, so I haven't been wowed like I have with some other beers that I've tried. But what I will say is this. The brew feels like it is of incredible quality and everything about it is low key. And I think that's intentional. As per their description of making beer for every man, not for nuanced tasters, this, I think most people would enjoy this. It's very nice. It doesn't have a strong stout taste, it doesn't have a strong chocolate taste, it's not particularly bitter, it's not particularly sweet. What it is though, what it is a well-bodied, enjoyable dark session beer. You could drink a few pints of that. It's not notably strong, I mean it's only about 4.7, so it shouldn't do, but some beers can still kind of sneak in at that. It doesn't taste particularly strong, it doesn't taste particularly heavy, although it's not thin, which is excellent. It's good. It's really good. It's very nice. That is absolutely a dark session ale for me. Right, let's break into some of Tony's Chocolonely. Broken off almost exactly half, which is ironic. The base chocolate in this obviously is the same as the milk chocolate one that we reviewed before. The texture is quite a bit different because of the sea salt and caramel. They're chunked with, let me show you that, let me give you a better idea. They're tiny flecks and chunks within the chocolate itself rather than being like a layer or a composite wrapped in chocolate. That makes for quite a different texture because you've not got that consistent smoothness of their milk chocolate. I said in the previous video that one of the things that was so good about Tony's Chocolonely was how smooth it was. You kind of lose that a bit with this, but the more you keep chewing, and by the time you get ready to swallow it, all of the sharper shards of those elements have disappeared. What they have nailed is the amount of caramel and salt in it. Now, I love salted caramel, but I don't love a lot of it. It becomes too sweet and too thirst-inducing all at once when there's a lot of it crammed into a small product. They've not done that. They've used bits of salt and bits of caramel just to get a flavour into their chocolate. I've just dissolved a bit of salt in the back of my mouth that I wasn't expecting, and that's a really nice twist on the end there. That is very enjoyable. That's a really solid stout. Because it's not particularly sweet, eating the chocolate and then going back to this doesn't really ruin it. They complement each other really well. This sits on its own level. It's not influenced by the sweetness of the chocolate at all, and likewise the chocolate doesn't influence how bitter the beer feels. To some degrees, both of their brilliance is in not being extreme in one way or another. Flavours in both are extremely well considered. A couple of times now I've thought I'm going to have to say that I like this, but I think the regular milk chocolate is better and that's the one that you should buy. The more I eat of it, the less and less I think that's true. If pressed to make a decision, I still think the standard milk chocolate is the one, but maybe that's just my preference in that I prefer a good milk chocolate rather than something that's a bit sweeter as this is. But I think if you're going to try them, I'd try both, to be honest. Find out where you stand on them, because I think there are some people out there who would definitely prefer this to the milk chocolate. This being a bit sweeter takes away a little of the richness of the original milk chocolate, which maybe to some people's tastes. Now, Beermats Brewing Co. I don't want to feel like I'm being a bit harsh on this, because I'm not. I do really like this beer, but I'm a big stout fan, and I like powerful stouts, I like flavoured stouts. So this, as a result, this starts to feel a little bit underwhelming, just in that it doesn't have the punch that I enjoy so much from some more strongly flavoured variants. That said, I'm very interested to try your pale and like your best bitter, or if you do anything along those lines, because for me, those are the beers that do not lend themselves well to intense flavours, and just those base products done well is where they shine, which is what this feels like. Well, I think that's about everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it if you haven't already, subscribe if you would be so kind, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.